The war between Iran and the United States and its allies has just entered a new and dangerous phase. Iran has launched missile and drone strikes on energy infrastructure across the Gulf, targeting refineries and LNG facilities that supply energy to much of the world. This is no longer just a military confrontation. It is becoming an energy war. The escalation began after Israeli strikes hit Iran's South Pars gas field, the largest natural gas field in the world. The attack disrupted Iranian gas production and halted operations at multiple refineries. Within hours, Iran retaliated. Missiles were launched toward energy installations across the Gulf region, including Qatar's Ras Laffan industrial complex, the largest LNG export hub on Earth, other refineries and energy facilities in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates were also targeted in coordinated strikes. This marks a clear shift in the war. The battlefield is expanding beyond Iran itself. To understand this escalation, we have to understand the strategic geography of the Gulf. The Persian Gulf is not just a body of water. It is the center of the global energy system. The region contains some of the largest oil and gas reserves on the planet, and much of that energy must pass through a single narrow shipping route, the Strait of Hormuz. At its narrowest point, the strait is only about 33 kilometers wide, yet roughly 1/5 of the world's oil supply moves through it every day. Any disruption here can immediately send shockwaves through global markets. Iran understands that it cannot match the United States and Israel in conventional military power, but it does not need to. Iran's strategy relies on geography and leverage. Instead of confronting superior air forces directly, Iran can threaten the infrastructure that powers the global economy. Energy terminals, refineries, shipping lanes. Even limited damage to these systems can cause massive economic consequences worldwide. And we are already seeing that effect. Oil prices surged above $110 per barrel following the latest attacks. If the war continues to escalate, the Gulf could become the most important theater of the conflict, because this region contains the world's largest LNG export hub, some of the largest oil refineries on Earth, a critical shipping routes for global trade. When energy infrastructure becomes a target, the conflict stops being regional. It becomes global. That is why governments and markets around the world are watching the Gulf so closely. What we are seeing now is the transformation of the conflict. This is no longer simply Iran versus Israel or Iran versus the United States. It is a struggle over control of the global energy system. And in that struggle, the Gulf is the most critical strategic position on the map. If attacks on energy infrastructure continue, the consequences will not remain confined to the Middle East. They will reach every country that depends on oil and gas. And that is why the escalation we are seeing now could mark a turning point in this war.